Hey everybody, I just want to go over a really quick percent review. I know we've been doing it all of last week, but just some key things I want you to keep in mind. So make it real short and sweet here. Okay, so percents. They're the easiest way I think to do percent, so this is how I was teaching it, is to set up a proportion. Okay, so if you always set up the proportion as this fraction equals this fraction over 100. So this part is always where the percent goes. If there's a percent symbol, this is where the percent goes, right? If there's not a percent symbol in your problem, or it doesn't say 15 in the word percent, then that's probably what you're looking for, okay? All right, on the bottom, this is your of or your whole, okay? They are the same thing. The of is the whole, so it's the whole amount of something. Your numerator is going to be the part, okay? And that's your is. The reason I use is and of is sometimes it's really easy to set up a percent proportion just with the words is and of. So if you have a problem, let's say I'm going to say what is 20% of 30, let's say, okay? So this is where I would look for my keywords. Here's my percent. I don't care. It's between the word is and of. I don't care, okay? It's a percent. So if I set this up, remember I always start out the exact same way. That 20 has to go here. No matter what, it's a percent. It will never go on the other side. Okay. The other key thing is I'm looking for the keywords is and of. Here's where of is. 30 comes right after of. So that means that 30 would go in the denominator. Okay, that's the whole thing. And I want to know what part of it is. What is the part that's 20% of the whole 30? Okay, so my variable on this problem is I'm looking for is. And you can see that's what the question says. What is? Okay, so when I set this up, I'm setting up a proportion using my keywords. Okay, there's no part in whole if you think about that. If you think is over of equals percent over 100, it's just a really easy way to set up some of the problems. Okay, and then you solve your proportion like we've been doing. I would do 20 times 30. Remember, you multiply the numbers that are diagonal from each other. So 2 times 3 is 6. And I just add 1, 2 zeros. And then you divide by the number that is across from your variable. So you multiply the numbers diagonal from each other, and then you divide by the number across from your variable, directly across from your variable. Okay, so it's not always divided by 100. It just depends on what information you're looking for. Okay, so in this case, I would do 600 divided by 100 gives me 6. So 6 is 20% of 30. Okay, so that's a really easy way to figure them out. Let's do another one that's looking for something else. So let's say that I said 15 is what percent of, let's say, what do we want to do it, 90, okay? So again, we're going to set up our proportion. Okay, I just think proportions are so much easier, really easy to figure out where things go. All right, do I have a percent symbol in my problem? I have a 15 and I have a 90. Neither one of them has a percent next to them. So guess where my variable is going to go? That means I know the other two numbers. All right, and then I'm looking for my keywords. 15 is goes on top. Percent of 90, 90 goes on bottom. Okay, now in this case, I'm not going to be dividing by 100. I'm going to be multiplying by 100 because when I go to do my solve my proportion, you always multiply the numbers diagonal. So that would be 1500. And then I'm going to divide by the number across from the variable. Okay, and I think I know I've mentioned this quite a few times. If you're dividing and you have a 0 at the end of this number and a 0 at the end of this number, just to make it easier, it's like dividing by 10 first. I can get rid of those zeros. So it's really 150 divided by 9. So I'd say 9 goes into 150. 9 goes into 15 once, because 2 times 9 is 18. I'm going to subtract that amount. 15 take away 9 is 6. I'm going to bring down a 0. 9 goes, then I just start all over again. 9 goes into 60 6 times. 6 times 9 is 54. Again, I'm going to subtract. All right, I cannot have that remainder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a decimal right here, and I'm going to bring it straight up. I can add as many zeros as I need to figure this problem out. So I have to figure it out till I get either a repeating decimal or a terminating decimal. So I'm going to bring down that 0. You kind of see that you already did that, but we'll keep going. 9 goes into 60 6 times. 6 times 9 is 54. So you see your pattern already. You're going to keep getting a remainder of 6. That means that that's a repeating decimal. So I would say it is 16.6 repeating percent. Okay? So sometimes it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for the is, or you're looking for the of, or you're looking for the percent. Okay? You'll always be given 2 out of the 3 because 100 is your 4th one. So I'm always going to be given the 100, right? And then I'm either going to be given these 2 and have to look for this one, these 2 and have to look for that one, or these 2 and have to look for that one. Okay, so it's really important how you set them up. When you do story problems, that's where you're going to see more of part in whole. Okay, so if let's say you go shopping, I'm not necessarily going to use the is and the of because those words aren't always in there. But let's say I'm going shopping and I said that I'm going shopping and I want to buy a t-shirt for, let's say, 20% off. The t-shirt originally cost what do you think it's going to be? About $40. It's an expensive t-shirt. Okay, I want to know how much money will I get off? How much is my discount? All right, so I'm going to start my proportion the exact same way I've done every other proportion. I'm going to say this is equal to this over 100. Okay, look for my information. I know the percent. It's 20% discount. So that goes on here. Okay, now I got to think. It's not going to be of and is on this. I just have to look at the problem. The t-shirt originally cost $40. So that's my whole. When we look at part over whole, the part is going to be what's discounted. The whole is going to be how much it was. So in this question, I'm actually looking for how much was it discounted, okay? And then I can figure it out from there. I would do 20 times 40, 2 times 4 is 8, so that's 800, divided by 100, divided by that guy, and it is discounted $8, okay? So that's what I mean by you really have to be careful on what it's asking you for. So when we have problems that are like tip or sales tax or something like that, then it's always going to be the same thing. Remember I said it's part over whole, so part, I'm just going to rewrite it again, or the is over the whole, or the of is equal to whatever your percent is over 100. That is always going to be the case. Well, let's say that we're talking about a tip. We're going to go out to dinner, and the dinner cost, I'm just going to write it out this way. The dinner was $70, okay? We want to leave a tip that is 20%, okay? And I want to know how much should the tip be. Okay, so when I set this up, guess how I'm going to start it? It's just one way to always remember and do the same thing, okay? Do I know the percent? I sure do. I want to leave a 20% tip. All right, now the $70. Tip is always going to go on top. Tip, tax, commission, those are all the amounts you make are always on the number because that's the part of what the whole thing would be. So the whole cost of the dinner was $70. I want to know how much should I tip, okay? So if I do it that way, I would do 20 times 70. 2 times 7 is 14, 0, 0. I'm not going to leave $1,400. I'm not that generous because I need to divide by 100, which means I take that 14 and move it 2 places. So I'm going to leave a $14 tip on a $70 bill. Okay, so that's just a little recap on the percents to just kind of slow it down a little bit and really think about what the question's asking you, okay? And pick out the isn't of words if you can. If it's some type of story problem, think about the percent's the easiest one. You put that over the percent. If there's not a percent problem in your problem, that's what you're looking for, okay? But you got to figure out what the whole amount is or what the part is. That's the hardest thing on percents to set up. But if you really read through the problem and think about it, it's not too bad. All right, that's it for this. I hope you guys have a great day.